In the previous episode, we had some amazing battles with the AI and picked up some great results along the way. We're now one race into our very first Triple Crown event. In that first main, I finished 4th, just behind my rival and teammate, Jordan Smith. It's becoming clearer with every round. He's the one I've got to beat if I want to make that move up to the 450s. And so, for the second main event of the Glendale Triple Crown, I line up between Deegan and Smith, determined to finally beat Smith this time. The gate drops, and I completely miss it. Again. It's been a recurring issue in the past episodes, and clearly, I still haven't figured it out. But anyway, I recover nicely through the first corner, making up spots and even pushing Deegan out of the way. Sorry, Deegan. I hit the first rhythm section cleanly, nailed the triple, and just like that, I'm up to 3rd. Right in contention for the win, tucked in behind Bomer. Hitting the whoops with speed and wanting to act fast, I dive down the inside of Bomer and take the lead. But, just like in the first event, I mess up the rhythm section right after the whoops, and Bomer slips past me again. Never to be seen after that. He clearly had insane pace in this second main, pulling away bit by bit each lap. Jumping to the final lap, it's honestly been a pretty uneventful ride for me. Bomer a couple of seconds ahead, DeFrancesco a couple behind. I bring it home in a solid 2nd place. And with that, I'm now tied for 1st overall with DeFrancesco, heading into the final main. So if I can put together one more strong race, I could take the overall win, and with that, a massive step forward in the championship. The gate drops for the final time in Glendale, and I absolutely nail it. This time, no hesitation, no delay, just a perfect launch. Hitting the brakes into the first corner, I'm well clear of the chaos behind and grab my very first hole shot. Right away, I settle into a solid rhythm. The lines feel smooth, the jumps are clicking, everything's working. Out front, clean air, and fully focused. Time to break away and go for that Triple Crown win. But Bomer has other plans. By the end of lap 1, he's reeled me in and pulls up right alongside as we launch off the finish line jump. He messes it up slightly, but recovers instantly in turn 1, and we're straight into the rhythm section, side by side. I hit my marks just a little cleaner and retake the lead. This time, I'm not letting him hang around. With about 30 seconds left on the clock, Bomer finally cracks and makes a mistake, dropping off the pace. From there, it's a smooth ride to the finish. Victory in this 3rd main event, and the overall win in my first ever Triple Crown. So I gained 3 spots in the championship standings, and after a rough start to the season, I'm now sitting 4th overall, just 17 points off championship leader DeFrancesco, and only 5 behind my teammate and biggest rival, Jordan Smith. Not bad at all. I'm already starting to shift my mindset toward the 450 class for next year. Big moves ahead. But this is where the game throws a massive curveball. While I'm prepping for round 5 at Dallas, life decides to hit pause, and I have to abruptly stop playing. When I finally get back, fire up the game, and expect to pick up where I left off, boom, I'm in the main event of round 6 at Indianapolis. No qualifying, no warm-up, nothing. Even worse, I've been slapped with a last place finish for Dallas. Just like that, my championship momentum takes a brutal hit. And now, I've got to line up cold at Lucas Oil Stadium and somehow deliver without a single lap of practice. Let's see what happens. As to be expected, it's an absolute shit show for me. And that's putting it nicely. The start actually isn't even that bad. I'm up in 7th after the opening lap, which gave me a bit of hope. But yeah, reality kicks in fast. I have zero idea where I'm going. I'm missing lines, overshooting corners, and just trying to survive while the rest of the field flies past me. I need time to learn this track, but that time simply isn't there. I push hard, and I do manage to make life difficult for some of the guys at the back, throwing in a few aggressive moves here and there. But despite giving it everything I've got, it's just not enough. I finished dead last, and to make things worse, Smith takes the W. That's 2 brutal blows in a row. My title hopes on life support. My goal of moving up to the 450 class slipping through my fingers. I need to bounce back immediately if I want to keep this rookie season from spiraling out of control. But before we jump back into the chaos of the Supercross Championship, the game throws another motocross event our way, this time set in Arizona, deep in a deserted quarry. And I've got to say, this one was actually a lot more fun than the previous motocross race we had back in episode 2. Like before, you get tossed straight into the action without any practice or real knowledge of the track, so those first laps were a complete struggle fest. I'm all over the place, trying to figure out where the hell the jumps lead and how hard I can send it through the corners. But once I get into the rhythm, I start to appreciate the layout a lot more. The elevation changes, some off-camber turns, and a few pretty sketchy high-speed sections. It all comes together for a track that's challenging and fun. What really makes this track harder to learn is just how massive it is. In Supercross, you kind of get used to those tight technical layouts with lap times hovering around a minute, give or take. And once you've got a few laps in, muscle memory starts to kick in. But motocross? Whole different beast. This quarry layout is huge. The laps are long, the corners are wide and fast, and there are elevation changes and blind jumps everywhere. You don't just memorize a few rhythm sections and call it a day, you're constantly reacting. And as you can probably see from the footage, I'm absolutely clueless half the time. Missing jumps, overshooting berms, sliding out of corners. It's chaos. So yeah, motocross definitely brings a different kind of challenge. Not bad at all, just a completely different mental approach compared to Supercross. And as we cross the line to end the first lap, somehow I'm in the mix for 8th place, which honestly feels like a miracle considering I'm still riding this thing blind. But it doesn't take long before that inexperience starts to show again. I miss my lines, overshoot a few key corners, and before I know it, I start slipping back through the field. I don't give up though. Still pushing, still learning. 8th is slowly pulling away from me, and by the time we hit the final 2 laps, I find myself locked in a battle with none other than championship leader DiFrancesco for 11th. At this point though, the track is finally starting to make sense. My lines are cleaner, I'm hitting a few jumps with actual confidence, and the fun factor just keeps going up. What started out as pure survival mode has now turned into an all-out brawl with DiFrancesco. It's intense, it's gritty, and honestly, it's the most fun I've had in a motocross event in this game so far. Halfway through the final lap, and DiFrancesco is still glued to my rear tire. We launch side by side over the big jumps, bikes screaming through the air, and I know the next section is going to make or break this battle. It's a tricky rhythm I've struggled with all race long. But this time, I'm done hesitating. I shut off the doubt, close my eyes, and fully commit. Boom. Nailed it. I hit the jump perfectly, flow through the landing, and instantly feel the gap open up. DiFrancesco has no answer. Just like that, his challenge is broken. And yes, that is him crashing in the background. For the first time all race, I get a breather. And honestly, hitting that corner jump cleanly for the first time felt so good. Looking back at it in the replay, the camera angle honestly doesn't do the moment justice. It never quite captures how sketchy and satisfying that jump felt in real time. But if you watch closely, you can catch DiFrancesco in the background just as he hits the section. You see that little wobble, that moment of hesitation, and that's all it took. His momentum's gone, and with it, his challenge for 10th place. And just when I thought the excitement was done and dusted for this motocross event, I'm cruising through the final section of the final lap, only to see Jordan Smith, my teammate, my rival, hit the deck right in front of me. Could I actually snatch a position off him, right at the death? But nope, the game's crash recovery system steps in like a protective big brother, dusts him off, and teleports him just far enough ahead on the track to make sure I can't reach him before the finish. Anyway, that's motocross. A chaotic, exhausting, but incredibly fun 10th place finish. Not too bad, all things considered. and way more entertaining than I expected going in. Okay then, for the final race of this third episode, we head to Seattle for round 7 of my 250 rookie campaign. And right from the get-go, things are feeling good. In practice, I'm the fastest rider on the track, which not only boosts the confidence, but also gives me that all-important first gate pick. Always nice. I don't know what it is, but this Seattle layout just clicks with me. It's got a nice flow, the rhythm sections suit my riding style, and honestly, I'm just having fun out there again. So with a good vibe, a front row seat at the gate, and some momentum to ride on, let's see what Seattle's got in store.
This will determine today's winner. Soon we'll find out which riders have these qualities.
My initial launch isn't great, to be honest, but I somehow thread the needle perfectly through the first turn and boom, grab the hole shot. That feeling never gets old, man. Just launching out of that corner and seeing nothing but clear track ahead. It's honestly one of the best moments you can have in a race like this. Now the key is settling in, finding my rhythm early, and trying to build a little gap before the pack gets organized behind me. Seattle's been feeling good all weekend, so let's see if I can turn that early lead into something special. But then, plot twist. Rivalries shows up out of nowhere. I haven't seen this dude at the front all season, but apparently Seattle is his moment. He dives past me aggressively, and we actually collide midair. He slides off the side of the ramp, tries to get back on track, and then boom, gets absolutely wiped out by Bomer, who had nowhere to go. Total madness. And just like that, I've got clean air in front of me again, and a decent gap to DiFrancesco as we start lap 2. Not complaining, but wow, Seattle is bringing the drama today. I'm sitting there with this nice, comfortable gap to Mosiman and DiFrancesco, feeling good, flowing with the track. And then Supercross reminds me exactly who's boss. One single missed timing in a rhythm section, just one bounce too short, and boom. There goes the cushion I worked so hard for. Next thing I know, DiFrancesco is breathing down my neck like he's got unfinished business. And just like that, Deja Vu hits hard. DiFrancesco goes full send, same line, same dive, same chaos, and surprise, surprise, it ends exactly like it did with Rivalries. He clips me midair, loses control, and ends up tumbling off the ramp. Things get wild real fast. DiFrancesco's crash might have taken him out of the win, but it lights a fire under the rest of the pack. Mosiman finds himself in the lead, but not for long, because here comes Bomer, charging like a man on a mission. I'm right there with them, and suddenly, it's a three-way slugfest for the win. We're swapping positions in almost every corner. Block passes flying around, elbows out, bars clashing. It's pure chaos, and I love every second of it. Clean laps are out the window. This is about survival and guts. It feels like deja vu, but this time there's no drama, just focus. As we glide through that tricky section for the third time, everything clicks. No bumps, no chaos, just clean racing. Hitting the whoops with precision, I line up my move and go for it. Sliding down the inside of Mosiman, I get the power down early and retake the lead just as we head into the final rhythm section before the line. It's only been a lap since my last lead, but it feels like redemption. I'm back at the front, and this time, I plan to stay there. Mosiman's like a magnet today. I try to stay clean, but he just keeps reappearing. I mess up the rhythm section again and drift wide trying to get back online, and boom, we connect. He hits the tough blocks, but somehow stays upright, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. It might have been my mistake, but I come out of it ahead. As we cross the line with 2 laps to go, I've suddenly got a second to breathe. Not much, but in a race like this, a second feels like a mile. Now it's all about holding it together and bringing this one home. It's starting to feel like a pattern. No matter how hard I try to pull away, Bomer and Mosiman just keep reeling me back in. I'm pushing, trying to open up a gap, but I'm simply lacking that extra bit of speed to truly break free. Before the lap is even over, they're right on my rear wheel again, and once more, I mess up the rhythm section. That part of the track has been my weak spot all race long, and it cost me dearly again. Any lead I had is gone in an instant. As we head into the final lap, it's a full-on three-way battle for the win. Buckle up. This one's going down to the wire. I'm just a little too cautious into turn 2, and that's all Bomer needs. He pulls up alongside me heading into the big triple. We both come up short on the landing, and as I'm trying to recover, Mosiman gives me a slight nudge, which in turn pushes Bomer wide. Now it's Mosiman's turn to attack. He swings around the outside, trying to snatch the lead. But I stay calm, hold my line into the corner, and come out still in front as we hit the next rhythm section. The pressure is insane, but I'm not giving this one up without a fight. The gap to Mosiman is just big enough to keep him from making a move, and it comes at the perfect time, because Bomer is now throwing everything he's got at second place. Their fight buys me a moment, just as we hit the section that's been my weak spot. First two jumps smooth, third one sketchy, but I survive it. Into the whoops, still just ahead of Mosiman. He can't make a move in the final corner, and I hang on for a gritty win in Seattle. And with that win, I claw back some ground in the championship, up 4 spots from 11th to 7th. Still a long way to go though, with my biggest rival leading the way. Can I close the gap in the final 3 races and earn that shot at the 450s? We'll find out next time. Thanks for watching.